of ISIS. But members of the local delegation are also trying to keep one of our local airports from losing a bit of business. Senior political reporter Scott Thuman is at the ABC 7 Capitol Hill Bureau with one local senator who is speaking out on both issues. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Allison. Yeah, we're going to talk about all those subjects in a quick interview here. We're fortunate enough to be joined by Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. Senator, thanks for being here.
You bet, Scott.
Let's start right away with some of the latest activity regarding ISIL, the terror group. Now, we know we had that attack in Texas over the weekend.
Yep.
There are new threats being reported at this point that there will be follow-ups and that there are what they call soldiers already here in the United States.
Right.
No longer lone wolves. This threat supposedly involves people who are going to take direct orders from the operative group overseas. How legitimate do we think this is, and what level of concern is it?
It's certainly legitimate that ISIL, which is headquartered in Syria but very active on the battlefield in Syria and Iraq and trying to spread, it's certainly legitimate that they're trying to recruit or trying to inspire others even in lone wolf attacks. We will need to dig in to see how serious it is here, but it is certainly their intent. And all of this makes even more plain the fact that, we're 9 months into a war. Congress hasn't even had a debate about it. We've spent $2 billion. American service members' lives have been lost in connection with this. It's time for Congress to finally do what we're supposed to do constitutionally and take up and authorize military action and give some shape to the mission that we're asking people to risk their lives in.
Yeah, the AUMF, we hear so much about it, and it's one of those things that's stalled on the Hill pretty dramatically.
It has.
Why is it significant that we actually push this through? Because some people are saying this war is going to continue regardless. Why do we need that authorization for the president?
Yeah, because the Constitution says we're supposed to do it that way. It's Congress that declares war, not the president, and you shouldn't just allow a president to do a unilateral war without congressional authority. But that's what we've done. I'll be speaking on the floor tomorrow.
Yeah, let's make some news here. You're going to be on the floor tomorrow saying what?
Talking about 9 months of war without a congressional debate, without a vote. The only action was taken in the Senate Foreign Relations Committee in December on the resolution I introduced in September. It passed, but then it never got action on the floor before the Congress adjourned. It's time for Congress to finally say to the men and women we're asking to risk their lives overseas that this is a mission that we think is worth it. And since the beginning of this, if anybody thought this was a threat that was going to go away, ISIL has claimed credit for attacks in Libya, in Afghanistan, obviously in Iraq and Syria, lone wolf attacks in the United States, foreign fighters going from Western Europe or North Africa. It's time for Congress to finally have some backbone, debate this, and authorize this military mission.
I've got 1 minute left. I want to ask you about this issue with the airport.
Absolutely.
Congress has to say it's okay to allow longer flights to come into Reagan National Airport if that's the case. You say you're prepared to be the jerk on this issue.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, look, the airports used to be part of the federal government, and they were put in the hands of an authority for a reason, so that Congress and the federal government wouldn't micromanage their operation. What has happened is the long-haul flights were supposed to be from Dulles to keep the lines from getting too long at Reagan, because Reagan is on a much smaller acreage than Dulles is. But members of Congress from the West, as you understand, they want to race to Reagan and fly home at the end of the week.
Right.
So they've been forcing the airports to do exceptions and have long-haul flights out of Reagan. Congress is not supposed to micromanage these airports. Congress gave the power of these airports to an authority so that they wouldn't micromanage.
And the problem is, you say that it's hurting Dulles, hurting business out there.
It hurts Dulles. And so Senator Warner and I both, and our members of the congressional delegation too, we expect it to come up again this year, and we're going to fight real hard to make sure that they don't keep hurting Dulles Airport.
Yeah. All right. Something that everyone in our area will be keeping very close eyes on. So thank you for the updates on those three very big topics. Allison, Leon, back to you.